Filmmakers, content creators, people of the world, welcome to Film Hustlers. I'm your host, Mark Roberts. I'm a filmmaker, have been for about 30 years. Your other host is Rod Tootie Rinks.
Who's Rod?
Are we using Rod or are we not using Rod? I don't understand.
Why not?
Yeah,
That's
Rod.
all right.
I like Rod. Rod Rinks is like your porn name.
Whoa.
And-
Director's name.
But you are a host, you're a filmmaker, you've made movies, you've made shorts, you're making micro
TV shows.
You're making micro dramas. You've done TV shows. You've done it all. Plus, you've done makeup. You worked yourself into the business in a very unique way, which is why it makes him very qualified to be talking to you about you making it in the business. And then we have a real professional, Ann Lewis Roberts.
The wonderful, amazing.
Our favorite guest.
Yes.
Our favorite guest. She's been in the business for years and years. Started at Entertainment Tonight, launched Access Hollywood, went over to
Rest in peace.
I was about to say R.I.P.
To where?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. Went over to Entertainment, Entertainment Television, and then spent 10 years as an executive at Disney doing non-scripted television for the network there, and another network that kind of went away, which was SoapNet. And you've executive produced a bunch of shows like Disney Weddings, Decorating Disney, which shot all over the world. And you're
Cheap
actually
old houses.
Cheap Old Houses.
One of my favorites.
You're
Cheap
very-
Old Houses.
Who's afraid of a cheap old house?
I'm
So-
not afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
The
if
wedding the toilet paper wedding dress show.
Whoa.
I mean, who could say that?
Right?
and you're a big fan of women's basketball, the WNBA.
I got to get home for that NCAA.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it.
game today.
But she is very important to the industry and what's happening and what has happened. So it's a really special thing when we have Ann on to
for
talk
having
about
me.
what's happening. But you know what's crazy? I got to say, like, every time we come on the show, it feels like the needle has moved again. It's
Yes.
never felt that way before.
No.
Why is that?
But wait, you didn't introduce Davy Dave.
I'm sorry. And we got Davy Dave, who's not on camera. He's literally on the ones and twos.
Slide over, Davey. Slide over. Keep
It's
going.
like-
Oh, there he is.
There he is,
There
Davy
he
Dave.
is.
So Davy Dave, also an influencer, a comedian, an actor. Hey, did you get your residual check?
Thank you.
You did?
Yes.
All right, residuals. You got to get that money.
Love
He
it.
was the first influencer I ever met in real life, like a real person.
I actually mine too.
Yeah, me too.
How many?
I remember you telling me about him, and I was like, "Get out of town!"
Yeah, it was like a whole thing. Like, he's an influencer? What does that mean?
He knows how to do all the things.
Yeah.
I do.
For over 400,000 followers, right? And that was back in the day. So it was like 4 million in today's market.
No,
That's
he's
right,
got
it's
he's got
inflation.
multiple. He's got multiple accounts. He's got Davy's Heroes.
That's right.
Is
You know
Davy's Hero still doing its thing?
When I have time.
There's not enough heroes in the world. You got to admit.
What are the difference between the different accounts?
So you got Davy Dave, the meme account, which is the OG one, and then you got my personal one, which was just a bunch of stuff with myself and my dog, and then you got Davy's Heroes, which concentrates on good stories around the globe that make the web, and then that's what you do.
And you had Foo News. He had Foo News at one point.
Yeah. Oh, and also Latino Press LA,
Dude, Latino Press.
which actually does really well on TikTok still, even though I haven't uploaded videos in
Well,
almost
guess
over
what?
a year.
You'll be doing Latino Press real soon.
Well, he's an influencer. He's acting. Got his residual checks from his movies.
Comedy.
Do you get comedy? You do a lot of acting. So is there a considerable amount of money coming in from residuals every year?
I get them a couple times a year.
A couple of times
now,
a year, yeah. I mean, it could turn into something, right? If you were working consistently as an actor, it
for
could
sure.
turn into like real money.
Yeah, for sure.
My favorite
that's-
line: "You don't need any more."
Oh.
What's the line?
Hey, who ate all the honey buns?
Trust me, you don't need any more honey buns.
Wow. Okay.
You do not need any more cinnamon rolls.
Yay!
That's a line from the Christmas Spark or a Christmas Spark. No, the Christmas Spark.
Yeah.
But it is. Thanks for doing that. So there's
Thank you.
4 of us here today, but David Dave is off camera. He sacrificed his camera for.
What a guy. What a good guy.
We'll get another camera. Don't worry. This video thing's probably gonna be around for a while.
I think so.
I wanted to also go back. There's a story that you tell, and you've told it on the podcast many times.
Thanks.
And I want to get it. I want to get it right. I want to get it right because you talk about it a lot. So here it is. The movie that the YouTube or Instagram influencer made is called Iron Lung.
Yeah.
It's called Iron Lung, right?
Yeah.
And
He's a YouTuber. He's a gamer.
it's the ultimate blueprint for independent success. And you mentioned this. He made the movie for $3 million, and instead of selling it to a streamer, he bet on himself and his 40 million followers on YouTube.
Subscribers, foo.
40 million subscribers on YouTube.
2026 is calling you, Mark Roberts.
He released it in January 2026. The film grossed over $52 million globally.
Not a bad investment.
It started only in 60 theaters, but expanded to over 4,000 because fans literally called local cinemas demanding it.
Yep.
What's the lesson? He used 80,000 gallons of fake blood, a world record, to create a viral hook that traditionally marketing could never buy. So just to get deeper into that story, which seems like, okay, not anyone can do it. You need 40 million subscribers. But
Right. That's important.
right. But the idea that he did like a Mr. Beast thing where he did like a, I don't know what the all these gallons of blood did, but he did like some sort of promo.
Yeah, I don't understand what
Yeah, I mean, he did something with it.
I said this to you. What's for the hustlers who don't have 400 million subscribers? What's the lesson?
Well, here's the thing. Like, we're in the same position, right? We're sitting here on Film Hustlers wanting to grow, wanting to expand, and we're doing the same thing anyone else would be doing to try to gain followers, right? So we're sort of in the same boat. How do you get to 40 million? I have no idea. Like that's I think you have to be doing crazy stuff.
I guess what the point is like find something you like, you love, you're good at. You don't even have to be good. Maybe he's not a good gamer, but he loves it. So people followed him. They subscribed. They wanted to watch him game. They gamed. And then from there, it took off. It exploded. And now, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if filmmakers like us would be reaching out to somebody like him and saying, hey, man, you want a partner? I got a story. You know what I mean? And it's a horror movie, so those tend to be a little less, the budget's small and there's a big audience. There's an audience waiting for them.
Well, there's an authenticity level to what's happening in the world today. Like, clearly being authentic is important. But I think the other thing is that there's also a lazy factor. Like, I was doing a lot of research on podcasts, and I read that 97% of podcasts don't get past their third episode. Maybe I think 12 was the highest number, but they don't get past there because you think that just doing it is enough.
Right.
It's not enough, right? There's all of these tools now that are available. And I think the reason the needle's moving so much every week for everybody is because it's growing that fast. Like, you are able to reach an audience now quickly. Like, even us going video for YouTube changed a lot of things,
Which I told us 5 years ago we should have done this.
Thousands of people are watching our short clips. A lot, like double the amount of people are watching on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Than are listening now.
Subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah, please subscribe, like, and share, because it does make a difference. But it is available. There's lots of ways. And if you go on YouTube, it's suggesting it to you. It's not like you have to go out and figure out or buy a book or, if you want to watch a video about how to do it, it'll tell you. All you have to do is follow the instructions. Yeah. But there is an authenticity. I mean, look, the bottom line about us is that we're not experts in anything except for hustling, right? Like, we hustle, we fail a lot, we pitch a lot of pitches don't work, some pitches do work, but I think the important thing is to realize that you have to keep learning about where the market's going, otherwise you inevitably are going to fail, because you do have to put in the effort and put in the work. Otherwise, you're just going to be doing stuff that goes nowhere. I read something today that I really agreed with, and it was about your ideas. Like, if you're making product and you're making, and I suppose the newer generations is way ahead on this one, but if you're making videos and no one's watching them, then you need to reconsider what your subject matter is and how you're making them. And that goes the same for movies, and it goes the same for pitches. If you are trying to raise money through Kickstarter, let's say, which should be considered about 40% of your budget. If you are raising money that way, that should be considered 40% of your budget. If you're not getting any hits and no one's giving you money, clearly people are raising money that way with horror films and things that are interesting, maybe historical projects, then you are doing something that nobody is interested in. And that's just the reality.
Well, yes and no, because like Mr. Beast, I think his number was something crazy, like 400 and some videos that nobody watched, then like 495 hit. So Yes.
You just made my point.
But he started when he was a little kid. He was like 9 years old.
Yeah, he did. But I think if your video, if you
Rethink
believe
it.
in
Keep
something,
keep putting it out. Try something try something again.
yeah, keep putting it out.
And keep changing it. Keep adjusting. Keep growing.
Like the reason that we're still here is because we like doing this show. Like there's no money.
That's the
really
sad
in it.
part about it.
I
is
mean,
that
we
we
do.
You
actually
guys
like
are
doing it.
committed. You
We're
like being
committed,
together.
and we
You
enjoy-
like talking about the industry.
Yeah, and we talk about what we're doing. You know, we talk about where we're going and the challenges. And he's right. We fail a lot, and then sometimes we get some success. But this show helps us keep going. You know, you got to find something you love and keep doing it and just keep going forward, regardless of your numbers in the beginning. Because your numbers, people aren't gonna. You got 5 followers, you're gonna get your mom, your tia, someone gonna. Hey, Miko, you did a great. You know how many Mikos I got? I love the show. That Roberts, he needs to really give you an opportunity. I'm like, Mom, take it easy. All right, Roberts is my friend. Yeah, but you should. He could help you. I go, no, he can't. Okay, maybe he can. But you just got to keep pushing forward. You know, I mean, the whole point of the show is. What is it? Don't get stopped, right?
Well, you can't get stopped, but I think we get stopped a lot. Like I
stopped
said,
all the time.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, but
about
in
consistency.
In the real world, people don't sit at a podcast and say, "Okay, Tootie, your idea is great. Let's raise money for it." Then Mark call people that he knows and gets money for it. Then you guys go out and you book it. Then you direct it. Then you make a great film with big actors, and then it goes to many festivals. So I think you guys are downplaying just a little bit what has been done here in this world. That's extraordinary things that have been done. And if you are at home and you're thinking about what could I do, that's a small venture for maximum impact. And so I think what you're saying is that if you try something and it doesn't work, you could get on another road and you could get on another road and you could get on another road. And in this moment in time where you get numbers from socials and YouTube, you can look and be like, okay, this one thing people liked that was in my bucket of things that I like. So what if I point myself at the thing that is the dovetail of they like it and I like it. Like I think sometimes people just go out and they do the thing they like and beat it up until they're blue in the face and they're like, it didn't work.
Right.
Like I think we're so lucky to live in a time where you know what's working.
Yeah.
If you read the paper, if you watch Hail Mary, you can glean a little teeny bit from everything that's working, and why not apply that to yourself?
Well,
unless you're, what's the guy, the genius auteur, Quentin Tarantino, then freaking he doesn't care what any of us have to say. Like, go be Quentin Tarantino. But are there a lot of Quentin Tarantinos?
No.
There really aren't. So why not listen to the industry? Why not listen to people who write in your comments? Why not go for something, row your boat in the direction that could work? I don't know.
Because even with filmmaking, when you write, say you're a writer and you write a scene, you think it's the funniest thing you've ever written, and then another scene is just kind of like a transitional scene that gets you somebody, and the actors improvise or they don't, and that scene kills it, and you're just kind of like, that wasn't supposed to be funny, but I guess it worked, right? So you got, like, to your point, you gotta, if something's not working, you just gotta kind of shoot off and try other things, and you stay in that vein. You know, if you have a podcast on filmmaking, you're like, this isn't working, I'm gonna do a podcast about, driving down the freeway. It's two different worlds. Like, it doesn't make sense. So kind of stay in your world if that's what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be, I think you can be passionate all you want. Like, you have to find something that's working for your audience. If you have an audience, you should be working towards giving them product that they want to keep consuming. And it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that if you're not trying things and throwing
That's what
stuff
it's all
against the
about.
wall.
It's all about, any way you want to cut it, it's about the audience. You want to make movies, your
Yeah.
audience better like them.
If they don't like them, you're not doing movies.
then you're
Yeah.
not making movies.
But-
Even back in the day when we started Access Hollywood, we would, Entertainment Tonight, you knew the next day if somebody's ratings were good, or you at least thought you knew what the segments were that were good. Now you absolutely 100% know from the comments, from the subscribers. Like, why wouldn't you use that information to make yourself better if you want to succeed? If you have a pile of money and you're just doing whatever it is because it floats your boat and you feel yummy about it, bedazzle your podcast all day long. But if you want to make it work, you It's great to
But
follow
no,
the
but
the
no one
follow.
does that. And historically, you can look back and there's a wake of failed businessmen that had billions of dollars to put into this business of film that have failed miserably because they had a bunch of money. They just had dreams about making movies. That's all. And I want to do them the way I want to do them. And, you know, I mean, I don't want to start naming names, but you guys know who they are. One of them has red hair. You know, they had billions of dollars.
I forgot about that guy.
Billions of dollars to make movies. It's not enough to want to make movies. I appreciate that you want to make movies. It's awesome, but it's not enough. Like, not if you want to actually make a living. And you know, the other thing that I found really...
Well, that's the key. If you want to make a living.
You want to get paid.
The other thing I
Get
find
paid.
fascinating about filmmakers, again, these are not words of advice and they're not potentially not actually correct, but they're a reality check if you want. Like the idea that you go about your life, you know, you're little, you get a job, you want to get a job at a pizza place, you know the steps that it takes to get that. You walk in there, you put down your resume, you know what it takes to keep that job, you know what it takes to make more money at it. People think those rules don't apply to film. You go into film, you know exactly what you need to do to work hard to try to figure out how to move up the ladder, but you don't do that because you think an idea is going to dominate everything and you're going to make something and you're going to become famous and everyone's going to want to hire you, and that just never happens. A really good example is like people win Academy Awards and their careers are over.
Well, I think you can make a choice, and it's based on how you grew up and what kind of hustler you are, right? I think people who are listening to this are hustlers. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think they're auteurs. And I just learned what that. I went to Catholic school, so I learned auteur late in life because you don't learn a lot in Catholic school. No, but I think there's auteurs and there's hustlers, and the hustlers are looking for, how do I get in by hook or by crook? How do I stay in? And I feel like I just read something recently, and it was very interesting to me that you don't go in anymore to an agency or to an entry-level job and say, oh, I'm a film guy or I'm a TV person. That's the way it was 30, 40 years ago. You know, you picked a lane. Now, if you pick a lane, guess what? Nobody wants you because there's less jobs. You need to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
You need to say, oh, I love digital. These are my favorite creators. This is my favorite streaming. I still like a little bit of cable. I watch YouTube, blah, blah. And if you can't span all of that, guess what? Nobody wants you. They don't need niche people. And unfortunately, film and TV are niches now. It's content. So I think, again, if you're getting those entry-level jobs, I think you got to go in and you still have to hustle and work hard. You still have to be the one who's available at Sunday night at 10 p.m. That's never going to change.
Yeah.
But I think you got to be somebody who knows a little bit about everything because nobody knows what's going to win next, right?
But
It's probably YouTube.
But you said this before we got on the podcast. What's the single most important thing in succeeding in this business?
Working hard.
It's consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showing up.
Showing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Consistently showing up
Yeah.
when the other person does not.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that that's something that is universal and important to look at. But more important than that is seeing what's happening in the market. If it's YouTube that you're going to be part of, there's new videos telling you how to do stuff every single day. I figured out every day there's a new video on like how you can market your stuff, how you can get more people to see you. I mean,
It's like the universe. It's like better than college. You really don't need college anymore. You go to YouTube, you find, how do I fly a 747? Well, first of all, you get in the cockpit. You don't
might
have
be able to
there's-
figure it out.
There's probably something
I
there
know.
that says how to fly a plane. I bet
Yeah,
you.
for
huh?
sure.
And
Yeah.
in those entry-level jobs, I don't think you want to be like, AI is bad. I think you want to say, like, I use AI
Yeah.
as a tool to get as much information for you as possible. And for me on a Sunday night at 10 o'clock, and we use it as a tool. And because I just don't think you can be precious and get your stuff done.
Well, I mean, we've come along.
Precious and successful.
We've come a long way in a short period of time with AI. We were talking about AI as a really nasty thing about a year ago because no one knew what it was. No one knew how they were using it. The minute someone uses it, that conversation goes quiet and they're not talking about it anymore
Yeah.
because they start using AI for their own stuff.
It's a
For
tool.
an email, for a letter to a school teacher, which I do all the time for cash. You know, like if I want to send a pointed letter without being rude, I put in my rude letter and it makes it nice. You know, so
You know, there's an AI for that now too, right?
yeah, I
There's-
mean, the
my
AI
wife's-
the AI uses works fine.
Well, no, there's a AI filter now. So, like, my wife's a teacher. So, if students send AI, because sometimes you can just tell, like, you know, 7th graders aren't writing. These
So it
letters.
shows you if it is.
So
yeah.
she just says, first of all, she goes, "This is AI," and then she plugs in another thing, and it says, "Yeah, it's AI." So she's like, "New paper for you, buddy."
Kids
like,
that get kids
But
that
the
get
kids
smart
all
about
know
it.
that, so the kids put it through all of
Another
Cass's
one?
friends. They put it through that AI filter, and it says 8% of this is
That's
AI,
funny.
and then it highlights that, and they just rewrite that shit.
Oh, then they do the misspelling and like. you know,
Yeah, I
That's smart.
Yeah, it's and that's now adjusted. Now people are getting super smart using AI to go like, what kind of problems should I have with you, AI, that would make sense to everyone else in the world? And now they're getting to the point where like, be careful when you use AI for your movies because you're going to get sued now because these platforms don't have the right to be borrowing from all these other ideas and putting them into your flick. So there's something's coming in the future where you're not going to be able to use AI to create images that are based on images that have been created before.
Oh wow! Is that happening?
It's
now?
going to happen. I heard it at the producers conference. They had a whole conference about just that. Be careful. Find out who the platform is that's creating your artwork because it might be using Disney animation. It might be using anyone who uses it, and that's not legal to use your movie to make my movie images. You know,
Is there going to be a rogue place where it's just going to be all AI
For a while.
It's like, you know.
Well, did you see Disney invested $1 billion in OpenAI, and then last week OpenAI said we're getting rid of that part of our business. Where
Disney
we're
said
gonna
it, not
allow-
OpenAI.
No, OpenAI said we don't. Is it Sonos?
Oh, I see what you're
is
saying,
it?
yeah.
They
Oh,
just said
yeah.
they
Yeah,
said
yeah.
we don't want to be involved. We don't have the resources to do that thing where you're going to take a Disney Piglet and make your own,
Piglet,
Mickey Mouse licensed video. It became too expensive for them, so they shut down that division. I imagine Disney's getting their money back. But it's interesting because I think
Yikes.
we were at Cash Roberts is knows you're talking about him. He keeps calling back. I think that all these businesses too are little by little going, okay, just because we can do this with AI doesn't mean we should.
Right.
So it's gonna. I don't know. I'm not afraid of it. I think it's just gonna whittle down to being another tool that we use, like Photoshop and I took a quick class about AI and Photoshop, and the professor, who looked like he was in his late 60s, was like, listen, photos used to be precious. You couldn't do anything with it. Then Getty Images came along, and we were like, that's going to be the end of us. But then we all started selling our pictures to Getty Image for like $20. We were like, this is
And they sell it for
fantastic.
$500.
And he was like, and now they're pennies on the dollar. And he was like, same thing with AI. He was showing us how you take your photo and you add a little bit of light here and a little bit of light here. And he's like, if you want to be pristine about it, don't. If you want to lighten it up, then do it. But it's a tool. It's not going to replace taking a beautiful photo.
AI is going to get crazy. But can I ask you something? Yeah. Do you know who
Ask
else
me.
uses? Let me ask you something. You know who else uses AI?
Me?
ExtremeMusic.com.
Oh!
Get it.
So ExtremeMusic.com, who is the most amazing platform in the world
The
for
best.
music, the best. You know who's partners with Russ Emanuel, right?
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer.
Zimmer.
In fact, if you go to our Instagram page, I put up a little sponsor picture, and I use the Hans Zimmer music.
Oh, he did?
He's an amazing composer. But if you go there, you can use it. It uses AI to get you the music that you may need for your movie or your whatever art you're making. But definitely check out ExtremeMusic.com for all your music needs. The other thing I'm going to say that will be controversial is that
Thank God.
I feel like
yeah.
the opportunity to succeed is much more abundant than it's ever been. I really do. Like just being online and getting information. Like if you had 50,000 followers for your YouTube page or Instagram or whatever it is, 50,000 subscribers is going to earn you tens of thousands of dollars.
Help us get there.
Yes.
Help us get there, please.
Subscribe.
But the idea that is true, that if you have authentic people following you that care about your message, that care about what you're doing, that care about your product, that care about your ideas, that's going to generate income for you in a market that people are still trying to do it the old traditional way. I want to get hired by, I want to go win Sundance. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you could really just do it on your own. It's available. It's out there. YouTube's the biggest platform in the world.
Yeah.
You got to
And
be
it's getting bigger.
authentic and give things of value. That is something I think you guys do really well, is you're bringing value to people who are in your community, who are looking to succeed, who are looking to move forward. I think you bring them value, actionable value that you could do something with,
Yeah.
not sort of lofty, like, hey, make a hit. Okay.
No.
Yeah, go be amazing.
Yeah.
Go do great work. I will say this. There is a market now, and this is for all the producers and directors and writers out there that, believed in cable and worked in cable and did movies for cable. Cable is still making money. And I'm talking about billions of dollars. Billions of dollars are being made by A&E. What's another big one? Discovery. Like, these networks these cable networks, HGTV, they're still bringing in billions of dollars combined, but billions of dollars, which means that they're getting that money and they don't want to let it go. So they need to create new content. The thing for us producers, writers, directors, actors, is that those budgets for those cable networks are coming down. So if you want to get some of that gold, which is sort of like, let's just call it silver and copper, because it's not gold. It's just sort of like a lower version of what it used to be. White gold. But you can still get that work. If you were making movies for 2.3, 2, maybe you're making them now for 1.6. You're finding the tax credits and using that. You're getting one investor. Unfortunately, you can't sell things overseas that much anymore. There was someone made a Christmas movie. It's overseas, made like $100,000, like literally no money. Maybe there's one that's making a bunch of money with Eddie Murphy in it, but if you're making small ones, don't expect a lot from foreign. But you can, if you start figuring out how to make them for less money, less days, you can get some of that market. They are looking for filmmakers to make them for less money. If you're making them for $1 million, $1.2 million, you're going to be in the sweet spot, because that's where it's at. And you can make them, but you have to follow rules. If you don't want to follow rules because you want to make it the way you want to make it, then that's not for you.
Then you're in trouble. But I did read today, guess what's coming back? DVDs.
Oh, yeah.
This younger generation likes DVDs. And guess what else happened? Vinyl had its highest sale since 1982. These younger kids like vinyl, and they're liking DVDs. So who knows? Blockbuster
They like
next.
the 90s are back. They like
But
analog. They like touching things.
Yeah,
and,
I'm gonna get in my attic. I got a bunch of True Religion and Ed Hardy stuff. I'm selling that stuff on the
Oh,
eBay.
that's smart.
If you are a filmmaker who made movies in the 90s and 2000s and all that, and they were on DVD, there's all these platforms to put it on to make money. We just put a bunch of our movies on Tubi. Platform like Film Hub, you put your movie on there, it gets approved. They take care of getting it to all the people that want to buy it. One of our documentaries, it's on Hoopla now. I haven't even heard of Hoopla. I don't even know what Hoopla is, right? But it's the online version of how to get movies from libraries all over the United States. And it's actually doing better than Tubi for us. So if you think you know everything about what's out there, you don't.
Hoopla.
Yep.
By the way,
Hoopla.
I wish I came up with Letterboxd. Like, why did you guys know Letterboxd?
No.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So the kids, it's an online social smarty pants for kids, platform where you watch movies. Most of them are old movies, and then you rate them.
What?
And then you have your sort of like the Spotify list. You have your list of things that you like. You have your comments, and then all your friends go on and be like, I never saw Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or I never saw
top 10 this, top 10 that.
How
It's amazing.
and it's
Letterboxd?
the biggest thing. And in fact, that Sophia explained it to me, and she was like, you know what? I don't have enough on my Letterboxd. And I was like, so she's now going to, that's Letterboxd. She's now going to the library, renting old films, plugging them into a DVD player at a house and watching them, and then going
From
and
Hoopla.
commenting on it on Letterboxd. And that's currency now for the 20-somethings to say, I went to the library and I rented a DVD and I watched it. And here's what I think about Clockwork Orange. She was telling us
Wow.
about. I was
Yeah.
like, what in
Caligula.
the actual hell? Yeah.
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 all those.
They
Well,
do that one for podcasts. We should do one for podcasts,
Yeah.
like Letterboxd for podcasts.
That's a good
It's
idea.
a good idea.
Hey.
Well, I
Born
mean,
here
look,
today.
you saw our numbers. Our numbers are changing, increasing. You know,
because you're so handsome.
Film
that's why.
Hustlers are doing so well. The Film Hustlers podcast is doing
Definitely.
extremely well.
And
So I want you
all the
to
good hair.
rate it. I want you to what do we want them to do? We want
Subscribe.
them to subscribe,
Subscribe.
comment,
Send
send
ask
your
questions. Yeah.
Yes.
Last thing I want to ask right before we go is there what if you're just trying to get a job in the business?
Yeah.
Do you go to entertainmentjobs.com?
I'm gonna look at my phone because I was looking at this and I was like, this is some good
While you're looking for that, Ann,
stuff.
if you want to get a cigar and you are in Los Angeles, where's the best place to go, Davey?
The library.
The
on
library.
Cahuenga.
That's where we're at right
That's
now.
where we're at.
Our
Can we
guy-
have a cigar afterward? That'd be great.
I gotta train somebody. Okay,
All right, let's do it.
See, that's peer
By the
pressure
way,
right
that
now.
was
We got
easy.
okay.
Come have a cigar and fill out your letterbox.
There
Yeah,
we go.
fill out your Letterboxd,
I love
yeah.
it. Yeah, this place is the best.
Oh my
Vic, the
God.
owner, is
It's
a great
so
guy.
chic.
YouTube,
Yeah.
at Cigar Box, but go check out YouTube, build your following, do authentic things that are going to make people come see your product. Cable's got money. You just got to figure out how to work within their box. Covered a lot of stuff.
I'm going to tell you,
Here we go for jobs in the industry.
this is a moment in time where people are doing all their center internships. This is for sort of college-based folks. All the internships just opened up this month. They pay them for them now. It's $35 an hour, so
What?
that's not
That's not
nothing.
bad.
That's not
That's
nothing.
more than you.
And
It's
it's
close.
development, music, marketing, PR, production, digital, and it's DreamWorks, Columbia,
Internships?
Legendary Picture, all internships. Warner Music Group has an incredible one. It's called the Emerging Talent Associate Program. You just
Where
go
is this?
online.
This is great.
I know. Live Nation has an incredible one that teaches you about booking artists
Yeah.
and marketing. Disney has one of the best. TikTok just started one in internships in the summer.
$35 an hour.
Also, the Television Academy has an 8-week internship in LA that is supposed to be incredible. And again, all these, you get paid for them now. And the other thing I just want to say is it's super old school, but all the agencies have entry-level training programs. They're open year-round, $25 an hour. And most of the time, again, if you are consistent, you'll get a job, and you may not want to be an agent. Maybe you go there and you find out this is the last thing I want. But those jobs, all of them, UTA, WME, CAA, they all have them. Netflix has assistant training programs now where you can get in there and you could do an entry level thing. I mean, who doesn't want to be at Netflix? So, I mean, a ton of, and by the way, all the digital companies are doing. Studios 71 is a huge company that manages podcasts, manages social media, and they also have this
What about
internship.
YouTube?
I'm sure YouTube has it. I'm
Well,
sure.
we got to go. That's been awesome. We've covered a lot of ground. We've talked about a lot of stuff. I hope it helps somebody, anybody. I know it
helped me.
helps us.
It helped me.
I know it helps us because
$35 an hour, I'm in.
we're trying to build our podcast here, and we're doing the same thing we're asking you to do. So let's see how we do. Maybe keep an eye on us, but subscribe, like us, send us questions, and tell your friends about us. We'll see you next time on Film Hustlers.
That's right.
Hey, that's right.